Oh gosh, wow, that was a serious lag. So, hello, you guys. Happy day before Thanksgiving. I'm excited for you guys to join us live for In the Hot Seat. I'm here today with Miss Kendra, and I'm super excited for you guys to learn more about because she is pretty awesome. So, without further ado, of course, I know it's the day before Thanksgiving, so if you're watching the replay or if you happen to hop on now, I will not keep y'all as too long. So, we will go ahead and get this started. And of course, if you're catching the replay, thank you for watching. And I'm excited for you guys to learn more about her. So I'm going to bring her on. All right, Miss Kendra, I'm going to bring you on now. I will not hold you guys because I know. Hi, you guys.
How are
Hopefully, as the
you?
school
Hi,
builds up.
everybody.
I okay, my thing is like laggy. Okay, sorry. If you see me being weird, I'm like my computer is being iffy right now. So, without further ado, could you tell us like who you are and what you do as I try to stop talking?
Well, again,
What
thank you for
I
having me on the hot seat. And I'm an author,
super
a motivational speaker, a business owner, a mentor, and I'm looking forward to sharing a little bit more about my story coming up. So, yeah, I'm ready for those questions.
all right. So you told us like a little background, but could you tell us like any like author mentor? Like how did like where did it all begin for you to like lead you down this journey to be mentoring and author and a lot of other things?
Well, that's a great question to ask. It started out with me being out on my own at a very, very young age. I became pregnant at 13 and being out on my own, trying to navigate life and meeting all types of different people and being in various situations, learning life through going through life. So I learned so many lessons being out on my own that I had to share them in my book, DroppinJewelz Guiding Principles to Help Girls Live Their Best Life. And that book was near and dear to me because I was able to reach back and give
Yeah.
pour into someone else, which was amazing. So it started off with me being the child that wanted the person who I am now to mentor them. So if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I just became
it
the
does.
person I wanted to be as a kid.
That's awesome. My
Yeah.
God. Like I feel like I feel like I wanted to ask you about that just because like one, like I like here, just like growing up, like as a teenager, like talking about like pregnancy and sex ed and all that other stuff is just like I don't even know like where do I want to begin. I don't
Right.
even
I
know where I
think
want to
it's
begin, but oh no, you're fine. There's a lag, so I'm just like trying to like play it off and be kind of quiet at the same time.
so what was your question? Because I think that the
Okay.
lag, I missed the question.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm sorry. I was like, let me wait. If y'all are watching right now, I'm sorry, y'all. Like this lag is like driving me crazy right now. But I
It's not
asked,
your
like,
fault. Sometimes it's
okay,
everybody's probably online at the same time. So who knows? But being out on my
I
own, I
know.
think that, one of those things when you're a teenage parent, you don't feel like you feel like you kind of, for me, I felt like I had to go even harder in essence, because there were so many different challenges that I had, in terms of just being not yet having the age. And I think that was a big thing
Mhm.
growing up, not having the age to do a lot of things, to have the right to do things, or have my own
Right.
place signed under me personally, and having to go around and go through a lot of back doors in essence just to try to, um, is ascertain your own place and making sure you have it, and you're in a stable
Right.
situation is really the most critical, part. I mean, I really didn't have my own place until I was 16. So, thinking of those years of not really having a stable place that I could call home comfortably for some time until I was able to, start to get into my own. And even then, that was very challenging as a young person, just trying to navigate and then working. I did a lot of working under the table and,
Right.
just doing whatever, canvassing for the environment. I've done that. So, it just doing all types of, I sold perfume for Centauri Creations back in the day, if you're those who remember those. Like just being a young person, finding different ways to bring in income and not, well, again, not having that age to always be able to work, and being out on your own at 13 is nothing fun, because you have to
I
figure
can't
out
imagine.
who your support system is and who can you run to.
Right. Did you have like a support system to navigate through, or how did you like even like how are you able just to like just navigate
and
just
and so a lot of
navigate
that
like through
is
that?
and a lot of that, I don't want to give the book away, so a lot of that is
Okay,
covered in the book, and it's
yeah.
covered in a way that it shows the lessons that I learned and how they can be applied to life in general, life lessons and biblical lessons. This is a faith-based book that I've written, so I do speak about God and understanding what it is to abide by his rules and to follow along with biblical principles as well. So just a little, even some more background. Before I became pregnant, I was heavily into church. I was in church all the time and, in different roles in the
Right.
church. And that was, and I'm saying all the time because it was really all the time. So, and so for me, the first time I had sex, I got pregnant. So it wasn't as though I had time to play around and, do this and do
Right.
that. It was one of those decisions that I made, sneaking around with my boyfriend at the time, for X amount of, time. And sometimes when you're a young person, you don't realize the magnitude of your decisions. So,
Yeah.
being out on my own at that age, because of the decision that I made to have my child, um, it definitely was a harrowing journey to get to where I am now, which I cover a lot in my book, and along with the lessons, so you can really apply them in the way that it needs to be applied to your life.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I won't have you talk any more about it because I want you guys to order her book so we can read more about it. But I do want to ask, just because too, like here, even growing up, we like teenage pregnancy, like I got pregnant like the end of high school, but that's another story. But just just like having want to ask here, but it's just the drive and like find like the like I applaud you for like everything, just like where you are now, and like it's like
Well,
it's awesome to actually like
well, thank you
you.
so much. I would have to say that I did get my drive from my parents. I mean, my parents are
Okay.
very driven people, and they were very educational oriented as a young person. I had to do lessons after lessons, and they really instilled in me as a young person excellence. And so, not having them as a support at a young age, at after I got pregnant, I
Yeah.
speak about how that whole fiasco happened, to whereas I was out on my became a young person out on their own, from coming from a two-parent household in the suburbs, and not having much
Hmm.
street smarts, to being thrust into an environment of more of a city lifestyle, well, the city, and being able
Right.
to navigate, just everyday life when you're not from a specific area that may be a lot faster than what the life pace might be, faster than what you're used to. So I had to really adapt to that. And it was helpful to have driven parents because I knew what it meant to get up and go and get things done. And I wasn't
Right.
wasn't those one of those kids that would sit in the bed all day, because my parents were not the type of parents that wouldn't even allow that either. So I had already had this drive from my parents, as always on the go, do go extracurricular activities,
Right.
here, there, church again, church again, and so
Yeah.
doing
Right.
having that type of pace and I was also, going out and evangelizing and all of that on certain weekends. And so I had already been in a position, and plus I had been on, I was in acting, I would have taken acting classes, professional acting classes as a young person. I had had some short roles on some television shows, or, some game shows and so forth. I did as a young person. So, for me, I was always used to being go, go, go. And my parents were not the type that accepted the B. It was, why didn't you get the A? So I think that when you have that type of foundation,
Right.
whether or not you have it continually, that starting point made a big difference in how I was able to structure my life to understand and analyze the lessons, as opposed to keep repeating the same things over and over again, expecting different results. I understood that I had to make a change at some point, and I understood that I had to do the analytical work and the personal development
Right.
work within in order to succeed, because I was taught that education was important. So I was constantly reading, whether or not, no one had to force me to read. It was something that I
Right.
loved to do. I always, even as a young person with children, I took my children to the library, and because that's what I knew. And so those things stuck with me, and it was helpful because I was able to research ideas, and also tactics and methods of ways to be able to progress. And I think that's really important, to have those types of skills as a young person in general. Pay attention to school. It's important. You don't feel like it is at the time, but it really is.
Okay, so I feel like you just dropped like so much. Like whoever, like y'all, I'll make sure like y'all catch all these gems she was dropping. But I do want to ask a quick question before, like I asked, like where to find you. You find your book definitely. So for mentoring, do you mentor like other teen girls, or do you mentor women, or is it kind of like a mixture? But I was
It's a
just
combination.
curious.
It's a combination. So I've mentored, or I mentor even now, women, young men. A lot of the young men are college, just graduated college, or in college now. As far as the young women, a lot of them have just either graduated or going into a postgraduate school. So they're in that
Okay.
age range, as well as a little bit older. And so in addition,
Okay.
I deal with teenage women as well, to give them their those lessons and those tools based upon the book.
Okay. Good to know. Could you tell us, please, where we can purchase your book at, and also where we can find you online, so everyone, whoever's watching this, the replay, or wherever at they find this, where we can
I love
find
it. I
you,
love
connect
it.
with you.
So you can connect with me at www.DroppinJewelz, DroppinJewelz.com, as well as connect with me on social media. My Instagram is JUSTUSJEWELZ, as well as my Facebook, which you're on right now. So connect with me.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Well, that is all I have for you tonight. So I want to thank you, and I'm glad we finally got and talk to us, especially before Thanksgiving and all this craziness. So I appreciate you coming on today.
Well,
So of
happy
course, if y'all are
Thanksgiving, happy
watching,
holidays to you.
thank you. Well, I will go ahead and get you off screen. I will wrap this up. Again, thank you. I'm so glad we got to connect. I was like, I watched you on Instagram like I do like most everybody else. And I love like your story and everything. So I'm glad I got you on here.
Thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate you, and I cannot wait to hear more of your story as well. So thank you for all the excellent work that you do, and have a beautifully blessed night and holiday.
Thank you so much. Yes, I will try to. All right. Perfect. All right, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in for In the Hot Seat. I will be back next week. I'll announce it because I don't remember the dates off the top of my head. But y'all have a great night. Thank you for tuning in before Thanksgiving. Y'all have an amazing night, and I will see y'all in the virtual space. See you later.